Agora Financial. Alan, good morning to you. Wanted to get your broad-based thoughts on the market action we're seeing today as we're approaching records and even seeing some upgrades in price targets from Goldman, for example, on the broader markets. How are you feeling?
Well, it's obviously a momentum market on the march. Now, last week we got real close, got within 5 points of those all-time forever highs, the S&P, then backed off a little bit. Today we're within a couple of points again. So it's looking, it's going to be a matter of when, not if, that it blasts through. But then what that projects, as we've seen every time in history, is the distance of that drop on that old top. So we've got a lot of potential upside in the S&P if it does what it's done every single time in market history.
I'm concerned a little bit about the timing. Just a quick thought on the timing because I want to get to your HPQ trade.
Okay, the timing in the S&P, that's your concern?
Mm-hmm. Because you said we'll break through, but then the drop that we see.
No, I'm talking about the old drop that we had, that February decline. If you look in the past history, every time the market sold off, it's come back and made new all-time highs. And it's also moved the distance of that drop, that fall that we saw in the S&P, on the old top. So that means that we should see a double-digit percentage gain in the S&P if it does what it's always done in the past, until it doesn't.
I see. Okay, so that's extremely bullish, and I definitely like that. Tell us about your trade on HPQ. That's what you're looking at today, Alan.
HPQ has not played ball. It's negative in 2020 as compared to the rest of the tech takeoff. So it's a value play, and you're starting to see some of that rotation into stocks that haven't participated. So what I'm looking at is a stock substitution, as I do, where I'm looking at an in-the-money option that's going to behave like the stock. I'm going with the November 15 call. Now, this stock has come back to its breakout point. It had traded between 12 and 18 for 5 full months, and now it's coming back to that level, as markets often do. So that range trade projects a market move up to 24. I'm looking at the November option. It has 3 months of time. It's deep in the money. It's got to have an 80 delta, so it's going to act like the stock. With HPQ at whatever, 1825 right now, this option's trading for about 375. So the break even on it's about 50 cents higher. We've got plenty of time, and there are gaps up above in the price here at 20 and 22. And I always like to throw in something for Oliver, so I'm hoping you can take over here. He likes to talk fundamentals. The PE ratio is less than 8. So I think it's a pretty inexpensive stock.
Yeah, that's a value play at its best. And a PE ratio of 8, I can't even think of anything else around 8, right? Even some of the financials are 10 or, right. And some of the high flyers are 20 to 100 plus. I mean, so when you look at PE ratios, and I think the average is around, 16, 17 on the S&P 500.
Exactly.
So you're still beating it with a PE ratio of 8. How do you compare Hewlett-Packard? As I know, you said it's not participating. IBM, Intel, Dell. I saw IBM got a price target raise from JP Morgan today. What's different about HPQ?
Well, it's just like IBM. IBM for a long time, it was out of favor. Now, what we're seeing with HPQ is I'm seeing a lot of money flow, and I'm seeing smart money going after this as an opportunity. So that's what I look for. You can see a lot of that action in the options market. But to compare it to some of the others, it's just out of favor. And it had been at 24. It's 25% off of its top just from February. So, again, what I'm looking for here is a snap-back attack. I don't know what the catalyst is going to be. That's not my job. My job is to predict the price, not why it's going to do what it's going to do. But from a risk-reward standpoint, I think this is a fantastic play. And when I'm looking at that 15 strike is the midpoint of the range that we were in for those many, many months. And now let's see if this wants to participate in the market.
Yeah, we'll look for the catalyst. As you said, 25% off. I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll even have an M&A deal. I mean, you never know. Alan Nuckman,
you just never know.
Great breakdown. You never know. Good to see you. Chief Market Strategist, Agora Financial.